doing?
Well, as a company, it's doing outstandingly. As a person, outstandingly.
How about the coins? Have they ever been released yet?
Oh yeah, yeah. The coins are all out there.
I haven't been able to get mine yet because I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Okay, I'll have to walk you through it because they're all out.
Yeah, I'll have to
I was just looking at something here.
maybe get in touch with you tomorrow.
Okay. I want to check on something. It's your gold price 57. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Herald Sites put out a guarantee today, which is kind of neat. I don't know how he'll be able to honor that guarantee, but it certainly is impressive. He says, "Yes, we need a better world, and I'm looking forward to the future. I guarantee for each 100 KBC coins, 1 gram of gold on the Golden Independence Day, July 4, 2019. KBC is the first coin real backed in gold."
Huh.
So that's so somehow he knows something that we don't know, but that means that there's going to be a fairly dramatic increase in the price between now and July 4th, which is only 9 months away.
That'd be cool. But I need to get them to my wallet, and I just haven't been able to figure out how to do that yet. So
there's a process. It starts with making sure that you have your Ether wallet address, proper Ether wallet address in your back office, so they can properly take the coins. Otherwise, if it's an incorrect address, it's not going to go to the place you want it to go, and then it should bounce back once they try to send it.
yeah,
Unless you
I gotta figure that out. Whatever.
Then once you do that, then you have to make sure that you go back into your Ether wallet and make sure that you have the special coin, the KBC coin, listed in there, because it's not part of the menu of coins that the Ether wallet has. So you have to put your the coin in there, and you have to put the address, the coin address, which is common to everybody. And then let's see what else. The number 7 for digits, and what else? There's something else. Oh, the letters KBC. But I'll walk you through that.
Okay.
It's easy because once you hit it in, get it in there instantaneously, your coins zap right into your wallet.
Well, that's basically what I need to do, but I got to make sure I'm doing it correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, the Karatbars as a company is just absolutely fantastic. They have put together, I don't know if any, they have put out now letters that you can put to your autoresponder. You can tailor them to your, for your autoresponder, and you could, you obviously you can send them wherever you want to send, wherever you would send your messages for an autoresponder. And they've been coming out for the past, and they didn't say anything about it. All of a sudden I was getting these emails it would say from Wally Piper. I'm thinking, I didn't send anything out on an auto, because you could tell it was an autoresponder message. And it was a fairly comprehensive letter in each one. So there's so far there's been 8 letters that this new guy, I can't think of his name now. He's taken over the marketing for Karatbars, and Herald Sites is no longer, fortunately. Marketing was never his strong suit. Financial planning was his strong suit, but marketing never was. So he finally realized that the best thing he could possibly do is get an expert in. And the guy they brought in is an expert, a true expert, not a fake one.
Right.
and he's going to be putting together some. In fact, they're in the process of putting together websites and all kinds of stuff for us to use.
Don't ever call me that, Wally.
What, expert?
Yep.
Yeah.
An X is a has-been and a spurt is a drip under pressure. I am neither.
I got a call coming in. The message says suspected spam. Okay, we'll slide that in. I get about 4 or 5 of those a day. I was talking with a guy today, and he was talking about about marketing and in the conversation we were talking about since 95 to 97% of the people that get into network marketing fail, and I said I've got an opinion as to why that happens. What's your opinion? And he said, well, really it boils down to the individual, because theoretically we all have the same company, same training program, same everything. And I said, well, in my humble opinion, which is fortunately it's in this case it's shared by some pretty well-known people in the industry, that it all falls on the sponsor, not anything else. A company, you can take virtually any company, as long as it's a legitimate company. And if you have the proper training, if the sponsor provides the proper training to his troops, that business or that entity will be successful. Now, how successful, is it going to be 1,000 a month, 5,000, 10,000, or 50,000? Who knows? But it will become an income producing entity, and it all falls down to the sponsor. Tom Schreider, Mark Januszewski, and Dale Calvert, and I've talked with all 3 of them, and they all say pretty much the same thing, that they've all gotten out of the industry for the same reasons, that it had deteriorated to a disastrous point, and they felt the calling to try and train and teach as many people as they possibly could proper techniques.
Right.
And that's what they were doing. And they all say the same thing, that the problem lies with the sponsor. And it was shortly after that conversation, it wasn't 10 minutes. I had a call or a message that came in on LinkedIn. And I came back to the guy. I copied the message and I took out the names and I just put X's in. And I said, here's the example of what I'm talking about. This poor lady, if she didn't have, she's a nurse, and she has, she's active, and she's fortunately has a nice income.
Right.
And her message reads as follows. Now she contacted me. She wanted to make a connection, join my team or whatever they call it. And I have messages prepared already that I came back. And my message back to her was, hi, Chris, I want to thank you for joining my community. It's always great to connect with new people. Hope all is well on your end. If you don't mind me asking, I'm curious, what made you reach out? And her response was this: Wally, hi, I'm looking for some help. I am with a company called a 25-year-old company, 2 years new to network marketing. So obviously she's been with network marketing for 2 years with this company.
Okay.
And her sponsor has obviously not done jack for her. Her message continues: looking for business builders and presidential founders. Now, whatever that means, I have no idea. Please get back with me. I can introduce you to my upline presidential founder. Please let me know if you or anyone else may be interested. Thanks, Chris. That's how she's marketing her business. And I said, and I'm telling this guy that I was talking with, just a few minutes before that message came in, and I came back to him. I said, now here's an example of weak or no sponsor training. If this poor woman didn't have a very good profession. She'd be starving to death if her only income was from this business. And then I put quotation marks around that message that she sent to me, and I sent it on to him. And he came back and he said, LOL, I agree with your assessment on sponsorship. But it's crazy. I get these messages all day, or I get phone calls all day long, and they're horrible. They're absolutely terrible. And I'm sure you guys do the same thing. I'm sure you get them. You have to wonder what on earth is going on in the training of these people. So that's the campaign I've been on for a while, and it's paying dividends, fortunately. But it's not an easy task to get people, even the downline. I've got, some of my downlines are picking up on it, and I'm starting to see some activity coming in. Thank heavens, increased activity. But it's like pulling teeth.
Yep.
I got one lady down in South Africa, and she has tried every conceivable way of trying to market karatbars, except communicating with other people personally. It's been a challenge and a half. I've given her every tool I've got in the toolkit, and yet she still doesn't do it. Now, the last message I got her, she wants to try and sell her karatbars business. I said, I'm looking at it, and I said, I don't think we're going to sell for very much. You don't have any activity. You've got to have activity to have something to sell. And there's not very many people going to be interested in buying an empty sack. So my suggestion is, if you want to get any money out of karatbars, start making a few phone calls.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to.
It's like my sponsor says, if your lips are moving, you're making money.
That's right.
But if you're sitting on your hands waiting for somebody that'll drop into your lap, it's going to be a long wait.
Well, there are techniques that you can use. There are techniques that I've found available that we use that I can get people calling in. There's two different techniques where I get people actually asking to see a presentation. I'm disappointed with one thing that I've learned along the way, and everybody seems to have gravitated to that, and that is the 2-call close. I think there's an awful lot of time that's being spent on 2-call closes that is non-productive time. And I was working with Mark J, and he's never really advocated a 1-call close, but he said the reason he hasn't is because he said most people are afraid to use it. So, but he said if you do it correctly, he said there's really no pressure. So we've developed a 2-call close or 1-call close presentation, and I'm just about finished with it. I want to find somebody that I can do a role play with, because before I run it out to anybody, I haven't sent it out to anybody yet, but it's still I'd say it's past beta, but it's not ready to go live yet. But it does, I think, to me, it feels like it's very comfortable doing a 1-call close, and there's no pressure on anybody. I don't think there is. There's pressure on the person to make a decision, but there's not pressure being brought to bear by the affiliate or the recruiter or whatever you want to call them. So I think it's a nice way to go about it. And Mark said it works if you use it. He said it'll work perfectly. And he said you're not going to waste a lot of time on 2 calls. Here's what happens on 2-call closes. Oops. I want you to hear this. Can you hear that?
Yep.
That's my signal that my time is up. So I to get a free token for my United Games Fire Fan. Anyway, because I set my timer for 1 hour, So every hour I can get a new token. So I get a free token. So I started at about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I set my thing. I start the day, and by the end of the day, I'll pick up 10 or 12 tokens, free tokens. But anyway, what we were talking about is the one call close, and here on a 2-call close, you get somebody all primed up, and you get them to the point where they're interested, or they're already interested. Let me ask you a question. Let me back up. Digress. My favorite word, digress. If your best friend, let's say Reverend Dave, if I tell you, then I'm putting myself in a best friend category. How about that? That if I tell you I've gone to a movie and I've seen what I think is the greatest movie I've ever seen, and I tell you about it, is there a pretty good chance you're going to go see that movie?
No, I'd probably ask you if this is Amway, and I don't want in.
No, I'm no, not Amway. It's a movie. It's a Hollywood produced movie.
Yeah. No, I would.
You wouldn't?
No, I would.
Oh, you would? Oh, okay. Why?
Well, I'd want to go.
Is it possible you were pre-sold?
Possibly, but maybe not.
Would you? Why wouldn't you go to a website and find out all about the movie? Who's acting in it? What have they won any Oscars? Has the director won any awards for directing the movie? How about the producer?
I might, but probably not.
Probably. Most people don't. They would just accept it on face value.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask another question. Are most people interested in earning more money?
Yep.
Are most people interested in paying less taxes?
Yep.
It should be.
Okay. Well, we can provide two things: for people how to earn more money and pay less tax. Theoretically, everybody that we talk to is a prospect. Would you not say that?
Yep.
Okay. I take a prospect and I send him out a message, and we get on the phone and we talk, and we get down to the point where now he's already sold. This person is already sold. He wants what I have.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can provide two things for him that he wants. He wants to make more money, and he wants to pay less taxes. Those are two things that I can guarantee that he's going to get. Now, what happens is we go through a presentation on the phone. It might be 2, 4, 5 minutes or whatever the length of time. And then we would get down to the point where it's decision time. And what do? I back off and I say, well, I'm going to send you out some information. I'll send you out a link with a video, and I'll give you an overview of our company, give you some idea of what we do, what you'd be doing, how much money you'd make, a little bit about the whole thing. And next thing we have to do is set a time to get together. Now, is it easier to reach you during the day, or are evenings better for you? Do you say, well, evenings, okay. Well, I got a couple spots available at such and such a time, whatever. Okay, we pin down a time to get together. Now, I send out, and I promise to send them out the video, and if I ask them, I say, now, if I send this out to you right now, when are you going to set aside some time to watch it? Well, I'll watch it tonight. Okay. And then that's when we set the time for the next meeting, next appointment. Go through the whole process, and he looks at the videos, and he says, karatbars. And he goes in, he Googles karatbars, and he scrolls down until he finds something he's looking for. He's looking for negatives. And he finds all these morons that have written all these negative things about karatbars, which are all untrue, by the way. But it doesn't really matter, because all they're trying to do is sell their own products. Because at the end of every one of those disclosures or reviews, as they call them, there's a pitch to sell their own product, whatever it is, or their own company, or their whatever. They always, and every one of them always ends the same way. If you're really interested in making some money, check out my website here. That's all they're trying to. It's a weak way of trying to communicate and trying to get people to look at your business. But anyway, I used to think, and I think everybody does the same thing, that the more people we can show our business to, the more people we're going to get to say yes. Now, it does work. I'm not saying that it doesn't work, It's just that it takes a long time to accomplish what you could do with one call. And if the one call is designed in such a way that it doesn't put pressure on anybody, either the caller or the callee, it's a great way to do it. And I think I put it together. And I know Mark J. I'm not putting it together, creating it. I'm just taking his ideas and putting it together in a package. That's all. And instead of making 2 calls and running the risk of losing it, get the person in that's already pre-sold. They're already predisposed to my product. They already know that. I don't care if I was on the phone with Karatbars or on the phone with United Games or Trulicity or whatever. The message is going to be the same. I mean, the message doesn't change. We never ever talk about product. We never talk about pay plan. Never talk about anything. And that's where the problem of the old 2-call close rears its ugly head. So that's the campaign I've been playing with for a while. And since I already know how to get all the people I want on a favorable basis, the next thing is just to communicate with them on a basis that I'm going to not waste a whole lot of time.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
So who wants to be a guinea pig? Not tonight, not right now. But
well, I got to talk to you tomorrow. Maybe I'll try it.
Okay, sounds like a plan, Robert. I'll give you a call, and we'll go through this as a little experiment.
Yeah, because it's always fun to role play.
Yeah, and you're gonna be my prospect.
And might learn something. What the hell?
Yeah, you never know. I always say I'm never too old to learn.
Never too old to learn.
I'm never too old to earn.
Never too old to earn.
There's this one, I was talking to this one lady today, and I said, oh, we were talking about her business, and I asked her, I said, well, we're texting, it wasn't a live conversation, we're doing IM on LinkedIn, and she said that she hasn't had a job in 22 years. And I said, wow, independently wealthy. I said, are you open to adopting an 80-year, an octogenarian curmudgeon? Said, the reason I haven't had a job for 22 years is, she said, I've been in the network marketing industry, and she said, that has been my entire life's form of income. Oh, okay. Boy, I'm telling you, LinkedIn, boy, there's some really nasty looking clouds floating around out here. We're in the middle of I don't know what kind of a weather system, but on the radar, there's echoes all around us. The only areas that don't have anything are to the east. But
must be down in Arizona.
Yeah, actually now it's the southeast. But the clouds to the north are almost black. They're really looking nasty, and there's flashes of lightning up there all around. But anyway, I've talked enough. I'll let you guys talk.
Okay, well,
we've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear you talk, Wally. You've got all sorts of good things to offer. And I did record it, so I got it on recording, so that we're all good.
I've been saved for posterity.
Yes. So,
you have been.
So,
and it'll probably be on YouTube.
Oh wow! I'm already nervous. My palms are sweaty.
So, well, I don't have a whole lot to say. About the only update I have on TrueNited is we're supposed to be very close to getting that credit card. Don't know how close, and those gift cards are coming pretty soon too. Dr. Nico said it should be soon, so I don't know what soon means to Dr. Nico, but But they came out with that system, Robert. Did you get to look at the Legend Zone .com?
No, I usually do that after I get done eating, and because I'll get it on my YouTube on my TV.
Yeah, they say they're deleting all the old non-relevant videos.
Yeah, and I made that suggestion to what's his name? God, I can't think of his name.
Ken?
Not Ken. No, was it Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
You know, about that I had watched a few of those on YouTube, and I found them interesting, but I said there's a lot of old ones that need to go. Mm-hmm. And he said, come to think of it, you're probably right. I'll have to look into it. So I had mentioned to him that, you know, I thought that it was necessary to go ahead and, you know, cut some of them out because they just don't make any sense. They have to do with things that we don't even do anymore.
Yep.
And that's very confusing to somebody that wants to go and listen to one. And then, like with Ken that one day, and I'm sitting there trying to explain to him, well, that's not the way it really is, you know. And how do you explain to somebody that here it is, this is making it easy, you can watch it right on TV, but it's all wrong.
Yeah. Well, they say they're going to update the videos that are on the Legend Zone daily.
Cool.
And so we'll have the newest ones there all the time.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out tonight for sure because I know that I checked it out about a week ago, and what I got was we're not quite up to par. Mm-hmm. We're getting there, but it's not quite done.
Yeah.
So I haven't been back to it since then, and that's been, I'd say, close to a week.
Yeah, well, they came out with a video today with Kevin, Darren, and Mike Sharbo.
I saw that on Facebook, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch the whole thing because it was about 10 minutes before we were getting ready to eat. So I got to watch the first 10 minutes of it, but that was all.
Okay.
But I really like that because it's very impressive. They do a fantastic job. You know, send it right up the chute and let Steve Dixon and all of them, you know, that we really appreciate that effort that they're putting into that. Mm-hmm. It's very, very helpful, especially when you're talking to a new person.
Yeah. Cut and paste directions.
Yeah. If I had, when I get a laptop, then be able to, you know, sit down and talk to somebody and just whip out my laptop and go directly to YouTube if I have Wi-Fi. And usually if you stop at somebody's house and they have a computer, they have Wi-Fi, and all you do is ask them what their code is, and, you know, you're not going to steal their code because it ain't any good after 100 feet away from the house, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you can just go right on to YouTube and pull it up and show them exactly what you want to show them.
Yeah.
And then you have that advantage of being able, after it's over, to say, now, you've seen this. Do you have any questions? Is there anything that you didn't understand or you want to understand a little bit clearer? Because I'm pretty sure I can clear the matter up, you know.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I like it. I'm all for it.
Well, Wally, I wanted to ask what's going on with United Games now?
They joined forces with that company that's involved with all the training and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
they made a bunch of people mad.
Yeah. It's not going as well as I think they had hoped. I mean, it's kind of a strange alliance to form, you know, actually they were just bought out. I think my guess is, I'm just speculating, that they ran out of money and this outfit offered to pick up the tab at you know, probably a bargain basement price. And they wound up being an affiliate or a subsidiary of they say they're equal partners, but I have my grave doubts about that. But anyway, the product that they're selling is it's hardly a poor man's product. I think the least expensive service they have is $99 a month, and it goes up from there.
Yep.
And I don't believe anybody's all that excited about shelling out that kind of money. Now supposedly, if you get 3 people, you know that'll nonsense. But that ain't flying. It's not doing well.
Nope.
And I've noticed my commissions have fallen off after the World Cup, because up until as the World Cup was approaching and as going on, my commissions were coming up real nicely. Now all of a sudden they're falling down, and I'm not particularly pleased. But that's I've tried a little bit of marketing with it, but not a whole heck of a lot. So that's probably the primary reason why the commissions are falling, because the present players I've got about 700 in there now. There's probably 1% of them that are playing on weekends. Hardly anybody that I know anymore. When I look at the leaderboard, there's hardly any names that ever show up. All the names that we knew that were there from last year that we participated with in groups, they're not there. So
yep.
It's slowly they're either going to have to inject something. They've tried a couple of different ideas to stimulate some activity, but it hasn't really done anything.
And I know several people that have dropped out.
Yeah,
including me.
Yeah,
and me.
Well, I'm still active, but Carol and I play every Sunday. We play football because it's just good. We get a kick out of it going back and forth. She has beaten me now in the last 2 years. I probably won. Maybe I can count the victories on one hand. She's won virtually every other game that we played.
Wow.
I just can't beat her. I don't know what it is. Every once in a while I get lucky and I beat her one night by 5 points. And she said, "Oh, you beat me?" I said, "Yeah, by 5 stinking points." Normally I'm drubbed by at least 100 points, maybe more. And she doesn't know anything about football, and I grew up playing football, so. Well, yeah, now she does. Now she probably knows more about it than I do. She certainly knows how to pick the plays, that's for sure. Hey, I got a question. Something came across my desk today that I got a kick out of. I for 82 years I didn't realize it, but I'm a white supremacist. My guess is you guys probably are too.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me.
You like white milk?
Of course.
Well, PETA claims that anybody that drinks white milk is a supremacist because white milk is a symbol of white supremacy.
Who said that?
PETA. PETA put out a message. Says cow's milk long has been a symbol used by white supremacists. One more reason to ditch dairy.
Well, I don't know. What would they say to somebody like me who loves chocolate milk?
I know, that's what I said too.
And it's not white.
I swear, some of these people out there are lunatics. They've absolutely gone completely off the rails.
Well, what about women? Most women are female chauvinist pigs.
Oh, yeah.
How many of them put the toilet seat up after they're done?
None.
None.
None?
No.
None.
I
but
mean,
if you don't put it down, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. Yes. Now, well, I know.
That doesn't mean lit at all.
Sorry, Carolyn. That was a bad joke.
I've said the same thing. We're always ostracized if we don't put the toilet seat down when we finish. But yet, I've never in my life have ever had a toilet seat raised after a woman gets through with it.
Doesn't seem right.
Doesn't have to be right. It's what. Well, never mind. I'm too close to being.
They don't expect you to use it. They expect you to go outside.
Yeah, right.
Find the nearest tree or bush.
There's a tree around back behind the house.
Yeah, right.
I remember when I was used to drink and was at a friend's house in this little hick town that I grew up in, Hartville, Ohio. And I needed to go to the bathroom because I had been drinking. And all the toilets were being used. They had 2 toilets in the house I was in, and they were being used. So, being an urgent matter, I went outside, went out back, didn't say anything, went out by a tree and relieved myself. Well, 10 minutes later, there's a loud banging on the door. And this guy walks in and says, "David, did you just go to the bathroom out by the tree back there?" And I said, "Yeah." It was dark, and I wasn't boisterous about it. And he says, "Well, we're going to have to see if any laws were broken." I had to go to the bathroom. He said, "Why didn't you use the toilet?" I says, "They were all being used." He just stomped out, and he said, "We're going to check and see if any laws have been broken." Good heavens.
Crazy.
No sense of humor.
No.
It's just because we live in a crazy world anymore.
Yeah, people are nuts. I think a lot of people are candidates for protective restraint. But
yeah, they're working on it.
That's just my opinion. And they call me crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, I did do something exciting.
What's that?
I can bring it up. I went to a Trump rally on Saturday.
And
it was fun.
How's Donald doing?
He's a big man.
Is he?
But he's doing fine. You don't realize exactly how big he is until you see him in person.
Where'd you go on to over in Vegas or Elko?
Elko, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was here in Mesa. I was going to go down. I thought about going down, but I thought there's going to be 50,000 people trying to get in, which is what it was.
Yep.
And I said, I can see it better on TV. So I stayed home and watched it on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I won't go to any public performances anymore because I'm afraid I'm going to fall down the steps and kill myself. And I'm still too unsteady on my feet, but I'm getting better. They gave me exercises to do, and I'm doing them every morning and every afternoon. And it's just I'm too nervous to go into a stand like a sporting place.
Yep.
Because I'm scared to death that I'm going to stumble and fall and kill people in the process.
My.
That don't sound like no fun at all.
Not to mention myself. So.
Yep.
I remember I went to church with my sister, and I told her I'm really not comfortable going to church where I don't know where I'm going. And sure enough, my sister, without thinking, went to her usual seat, which is at the top of these steps in like a balcony area.
Uh-huh.
So I followed her up, no problem. But then afterwards, the music's playing and we're coming down. I missed a step and darn, killed half a dozen people because I fell.
I got it. Mine too.
Glad we don't live in surprises.
Wow,
And I says, nope, never again.
no. You
So-
got to be very careful about something like that.
So I'm
I
not
know,
gonna take a chance.
What, you got a middle ear problem, or what's caused the problem?
Don't know. I just have I'm very unsteady on my feet, and I've got neuropathy, and they're working on it. I take Lyrica for it, but Lyrica doesn't stop the numbness in my feet from happening. It just kills the pain. So. Well, guys, we only got about 5 minutes left, so does anybody else have anything they want to say before we turn off the recording?
I think I've covered it.
Okay.
Wally, what time tomorrow morning?
Let me look. Tomorrow